The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is a horror, thriller, mystery, sci-fi genre film. The film is written and directed by Leigh Whannell and is based on H.G. Wells' 1933 novel. The film follows Cecilia, who receives the news of her abusive ex-boyfriend's suicide. She begins to rebuild her life for the better. However, her sense of reality is put into question when she begins to suspect her deceased lover is not actually dead. The film's leads are Elizabeth Moss as Cecilia Cass and Oliver Jackson Cohen as Adrian Griffin. So, where do we begin, ladies and gentlemen? Ooh. So, I am familiar with Leigh Whannell's films because I had watched Upgrade in 2018 and I thought that was a magnificent film. That film was more of a film that played on the sci-fi element as well as horror. But with The Invisible Man, boy oh boy did Leigh Whannell bring his A game within this film. And I must say, one of the most pleasant surprises that I got from this film was the film's soundtrack. I'll put it to you this way. Have you guys listened to 1917 soundtrack? Have you guys listened to Joker's soundtrack? I'll tell you this. Benjamin Wild's soundtrack for The Invisible Man, put it right up there with those soundtracks. That's how bloody good it is. It's almost like the sound and the soundtrack within this film is its own character. It's so abrupt. It's so sinister. So menacing. You know, the sounds I'm hearing within this film are sounds I've never heard in my life. Unbelievable. You know, I find it always great when you've got a film that's obviously well written and well directed, as well as you get great interpreted acting performances from your actors. But then the cherry on top of that cake is a banging composed soundtrack. And boy, did it play so well into this film. Which would then lead me to talk about the product design of The Invisible Man. And I always, whenever I watch a Leigh Whannell film, it always feels like somewhere out there in this, in the essence of what he creates is this dark dystopian reality, that within this dark dystopian reality that there is someone out there in the world that is doing this somewhere, and it kind of gives me chills, it gives me goosebumps to think that, because the concept of his films really are so, on paper, they're so out of left field and they're so far-fetched that really for paper value or the concept of the synopsis, it should not be believable whatsoever. But this guy, this filmmaker, he just makes it work, man. He just makes it work. And it just creeps me out. Now, I can't go into too much of what, obviously, when I say product design is that, you know, I can't give it away. But man, when I talk about, think about what I mean by product design, all of you film buffs out there, when you see it, in my opinion, for the budget they had and what they had to work with, it is as good as any massive blockbuster you're going to see with, I don't know, any Marvel property, any DC property, any Star Wars property. What they've done in that film, I don't think it's going to be recreated for a very, very long time. Unbelievable stuff. Now, there's so many aspects that I can talk within this film. Now, the cinematography. What's so great about this is that it's not a heavily edited film. You know, okay, there's obviously different shots, you know, handheld, tripod, all these different aspects. But what I enjoy most is that most scenes Thanks, ambulance. Most scenes will be three characters that are acting, and this in any other film it'd be a tighter shot because it's obviously three actors that are acting. But within The Invisible Man, the shots feel wider. Now, what he's doing is that he's suggesting that something is in this room, and you constantly keep looking off into the corner. Is something there, or is it not? As a matter of fact, you are going as crazy as perceivably or presumably as the main character is going in this film. So you're constantly asking yourself, there are some nerving, unbearable, prolonged scenes in this film where you're shitting your pants, for these prolonged moments, and you're just thinking, just put me out my misery, put me out my misery, put me out my misery. It's so nerving, and the suspense is brilliant. And I have to give props to the way that it's shot. You can suggest so many things with the way that you move that camera, and you don't have to do choppy, changey, cutty, which is most things that happen within most thrillers and action films. But this, the way that it's shot, it also allows the actors to really give really great interpretations of their acting, which will then lead me to now talk about Elisabeth Moss. Just, you know what, man? You fucking amazing. I'm blown away. I really am. I'm really just lost for words. It's always nice to know that an actor has gone away with the source material and just took it as seriously as it can be taken, because within this film there is an element of domestic violence, and I felt like her portrayal, none of it felt like it was over dramatic, none of it felt like it was on the nose, and I felt like she really, paid a lot of respect to that role. And Elisabeth Moss, I can only congratulate you, and I can only say, how great of a job you've done with this film, with your acting. So, bravo, honestly, bravo. And I don't clap a lot for actors usually. And look, Oliver Jackson Cohen, I don't know what it is. Every time I see this guy on screen, he's amazing. This is what built some of the hype for me to go see this film, was obviously that I saw him in The Haunting of Hill House when he played Luke in The Haunting of Hill House, and that performance, like I said, it's one of the best male performances I've seen within a TV show. And again, he brings his A game again, and I can only just applaud his effort and everything that he has put within this film. So, I'm going to say this as well, guys. I hope that and one thing that I'm just going to wrap this review up, go and see this film in IMAX. Go and do it. Look, okay, you're going to spend maybe 3 or 4 additional pounds more for your ticket, but I guarantee you the experience that you will have with this film will be mesmerizing. And just to add on to that, there are some of them I've not experienced. I remember watching Dragged Across Concrete and just how gut-wrenching that film left me in some of its moments. And there is 2 moments, I guarantee you will not see it coming. And you're going to shit your pants when it happens. And guess what? There's nothing you can do. You just have to sit there and take it. The conflict in this film is insane. It just when you think it can't get any worse, boy, does it get worse. Anything else to add on? Anything else? Anything to add on? Guys, go see The Invisible Man. If you don't see it, if you don't see this film this month, then I'm telling you now, you might as well just stop watching films in general. So for that, you know what? For that, I'm going to give The Invisible Man a 10 out of 10. I was flowing around. I had one discrepancy with the film, but I know if I watch it a second time, I know that I'm going to connect some of the dots. But other than that, this is what a horror film is meant to be. 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to watch it a second and third time. That's how much I enjoyed it. So guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.